Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great, great world. We're going to talk about XRP and a few other things going on as well. So Texas Senate passes Proof of Reserves bill. In what may end up being a landmark development, the Texas Senate passed a Proof of Reserves bill today. Moreover, the legislation would allow cryptocurrency exchanges to maintain the necessary reserves, continuing the state's current run of pro-crypto legislation. Now, you know why we don't have national crypto legislation? Because we have organizations like the SEC and the CFTC fighting each other over who's going to regulate crypto going forward. At the same time, we have a handful of pro-crypto politicians fighting against the anti-crypto army, led by Elizabeth Warren. That's why nothing can get done. They cannot come together and agree on anything. So it's nice to see that the states now are taking crypto legislation into their own hands. What Texas is doing is absolutely incredible. Other states should follow suit. Janet Yellen tells bank CEOs that more mergers may be necessary. In a meeting that took place on Thursday, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told various bank CEOs that more mergers would be necessary for the health of the industry. Moreover, CNN reported that Yellen's statement was made regarding the health of the banking sector amid the ongoing crisis. This crisis isn't over because it's a planned crisis. They're consolidating the banks right now. So you're going to see other collapses happen. And I don't think Janet Yellen works for the American people. She works for the big banks at this point. New Senate bill proposes new federal agency to police digital media. It would have the authority to fine users for misinformation and hate speech. Now, I don't like the idea of hate speech at all. But when it comes to misinformation, our U.S. government puts out more misinformation than anyone else. They always try to hide what's going on behind the scenes at the same time. And I feel this stomps all over the First Amendment and freedom of speech. This should be fought all along the way. And I still feel somehow this is tied right back to the World Economic Forum as well. Then there's this U.S. presidential candidate Robert Kennedy Jr. to accept Bitcoin Lightning payments to his campaign. The first presidential campaign ever. You want to see more of this happening, even if it's around Bitcoin, because this leads to more and more adoption of crypto in the future. And I still think the 2024 election is going to shine a spotlight on crypto. Think about it. You have anti-crypto politicians like Elizabeth Warren. Whoever's running against her is going to bring that up. I feel if you're anti-crypto, you are anti-American because you're trying to push innovation out of this country. You're not letting the crypto industry grow and strive in this country at the same time. And you're crushing the retail investor as well. But I think 2024 election is going to be great for crypto holders. Breaking, Judge Torres has granted the request to extend the deadline to June 13th. Now, this is around the Hinman documents, and most of us could have seen this coming. We should have had those documents a long time ago. They point out all the corruption that's going on at the SEC, and that corruption is still continuing today. And I'm tired of the delays around this case as well. Lawyer predicts total victory if judge agrees to jury decision. I want this judge to come out and roll on this case already. This should not go to a jury. Give Ripple the win. Then let XRP get that regulatory clarity so the banks here in the U.S. can utilize XRP for on-demand liquidity. I feel this case should have been done and over with a long time ago. I still remember this is going to be wrapped up within the first year. Here we are over 2 years later. Come on. So Ripple welcomes former Amazon CFO Warren Jensen to its board of directors. You know, Ripple has an all-star team at this point. So Ripple, the San Francisco-based blockchain firm, announced that it had appointed former Amazon Chief Financial Officer Warren Jensen to its board of directors. Jensen brings a wealth of experience from his stints at Amazon, Delta Airlines, NBC, Electronic Arts, and Nielsen, a testament to Ripple's ambition of growing its global presence. In addition to joining the board, Jensen has also been appointed chair of the Audit Committee, which oversees the auditing process of Ripple's operations. The addition of Jensen to Ripple's board is seen as a significant catch if they consider his impressive track record of managing financial operations for innovative market-leading companies. He's a huge asset, in my opinion, and this shows the strength of Ripple as well. Ripple joins forces with Hong Kong for revolutionary CBDC partnership. Ripple, a leading player in the crypto payments industry, has secured a prominent role in Hong Kong's EHKD pilot program. The initiative, announced by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, aims to explore the potential use cases of the digital Hong Kong dollar with a select group of firms from the financial, payment, and technology sectors. So they're also going to work on the digital Hong Kong dollar as well. Plus, they're also talking about tokenizing real estate at the same time. Ripple rolls out CBDC platform. This is also very big. Fresh from its acquisition of crypto custody provider Mateco, Ripple is rolling out an end-to-end CBDC platform for central banks, governments, and financial institutions to issue their own digital currencies and stablecoins. And you know, they're already getting a head start on this. Take a listen.
What clients do you have right now?
So right now we have several clients. We've announced 4. Today, actually, in parallel with this announcement, we announced that we're working with the HKMA in Hong Kong on building out a real estate tokenization platform with CBDC. We also have 3 other projects, one with the Central Bank of Montenegro, and then 2 others. One is with the Central Bank, the Royal Monetary Authority in Bhutan, and then the final is with Palau, which is a republic. It doesn't have actually a central bank, so we're working with them to issue a government-issued stablecoin.
You just mentioned 4 jurisdictions that are very different from each other. Talk to me a little bit about why you're choosing to work with these governments first.
Well, as I said, we are working with some others that we can't talk about yet. But generally, we find that a lot of the smaller countries are a bit more nimble and are able to do things more quickly. Probably the opposite end of the spectrum is, the European Central Bank, the Eurozone, or the US, where it's a very complex environment, a lot of different vested, interested parties, regulatory uncertainty in some cases. So other countries, the countries I mentioned, are able to move more quickly, and that is great for us because it gives us great experience, early on in this marketplace, and it's also great for those.
So they're targeting the smaller countries because they can get traction in those countries much quicker. Here in the US, it's going to take a long period of time before Ripple gets any traction. First, we have to get through this case. The EU, however, they're close to regulatory clarity with MiCA. And I think Ripple's going to really strive and grow there very fast. I think we're going to see a CBDC roll out in the EU far before it ever rolls out in the US. So we're going to get to see how a CBDC works in society. It's hard to see it right now. I know that most people are already talking about we're never going to get on board with that. Even states here in the US will never get on board with the CBDC at the same time. But maybe after it rolls out and we don't have the privacy concerns in other countries, like maybe they're not weaponizing a CBDC against the people, then maybe CBDCs would get more traction in the future. What do you think? So Ripple CTO confirms its CBDC platform's ability to use the XRP token. Now, in yesterday's video, I talked about how they said that they don't have to utilize XRP. So the company released an update on its CBDC platform on May 18th, detailing improvements to the project. Crypto publication Blockworks covered the story, detailing an email exchange with a Ripple spokesperson that made clear the CBDC platform does not require XRP to operate, and that central banks do not use or interact with the token. In response, members of the XRP army kicked up a storm, criticizing Blockworks for inaccurate reporting. However, as Blockworks author Catherine Ross explained, it is factually correct that the CBDC platform does not use XRP and that central banks do not use XRP to operate in the platform. But then Schwartz chimed in saying that the CBDC platform operates on the same core technology as the XRP ledger and can connect with the XRP ledger and use XRP tokens. I still think that they're going to use XRP as a trust layer and a bridge currency that it was intended to be used for in between CBDCs all throughout the world in the future. But you see, a lot of people jump to conclusions when they see an article. A lot of times I wait to make videos. I see certain information and I want to see how it gains traction throughout the day before I talk about it in a video. Because this way I can bring you the facts a lot better. I don't jump to conclusion on a lot of things. Then there's this, and I thought this was worth a share. So XLM and any exchange associated with the Apex crypto will delist XLM and others. The SEC is telling them, if you want to stay open, then get rid of these cryptos. That's the second delisting around XLM. Now, the SEC went directly after Ripple, brought them into a lawsuit. I think they're taking a different approach now around certain cryptocurrencies. Instead of going after the crypto directly, they're going to the exchange and strong arming them to delist certain tokens. And again, this plays into a narrative where we were never supposed to be holding these cryptocurrencies to begin with. But I don't think that's so true. But I think that they want us out of crypto. They don't want us getting rich. They want us paying our fair share of taxes on our crypto holdings at the same time. This needs to change. We need change in the U.S. around crypto. We need more pro-crypto politicians in place, creating laws around crypto at the same time. But again, our government moves at a snail's pace, so we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. But one thing I do know, this case has to come to an end sooner or later, and when it does, it's going to give us all that financial freedom. Because it's not just the case. It's banks all of a sudden utilizing that on-demand liquidity. XRP being the only crypto with regulatory clarity. Look at all the FOMO money that's going to pour in. I still feel that $10 to $20 initially, and then far beyond that in the short term after. But with that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.